All right, let's get into it. The story we're diving into today could flip everything you think you know about human history on its head. It all starts in the dark, with a single flame, and a discovery that seems absolutely impossible.
So let's just jump right into the deep end. Our source starts with this incredible first-hand account. I mean, can you imagine breaking a seal that's been shut tight since the last ice age, and then you find something that, by all logic, just shouldn't be there?
And what did they find? Not what you'd expect, right? Not the usual cave paintings of bison or hunters. No, we're talking mathematical equations, complex geometric patterns, binary code, Fibonacci spirals. I mean, this is the kind of abstract thought we link with super advanced civilizations, and it's found in the last place on Earth you'd ever think to look.
Okay, so let's really dig into this discovery and why it just completely shatters our standard timeline of human development. This is where the story gets really good. And get this wasn't just some wild guess. According to the source, the find was carbon dated to 30,000 years ago. Just let that number sink in for a second. 30,000 years. And to really put that into perspective, this knowledge was around 25,000 years before the pyramids, before writing, before we even figured out farming. It's kind of like cracking open a dinosaur fossil and finding a circuit board inside. It's an anomaly that just defies any easy explanation.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. There's a scientific term for this, right? For seeing patterns that aren't really there. We see faces in clouds, figures in the grain of wood. It's called pareidolia. But the narrator of our source, they are absolutely certain that what was in that cave, well, it was no random jumble of dots and lines.
And this is the absolute core of the clan. These images aren't just art, they're a code. They're instructions communicated through the universal language of math, a language that, think about it, is older than any spoken word we've ever recorded.
But hold on, because the story doesn't stop there. Not even close. What started as this one single impossible discovery, it quickly blew up into a global mystery, one that's even harder to explain away.
See, this code wasn't just a one-off thing. The source says that the exact same equations, the same geometric language, were found in a grand total of 12 different spots all around the world.
And just look at where these caves were. We're talking spread across different continents, separated by huge oceans and mountains you just couldn't cross back then. These weren't, neighboring tribes just sharing campfire stories and art tips.
And this is the real head-scratcher, right? How could people who never met, who had absolutely no way of communicating with each other 30,000 years ago, how could they all paint the exact same complex mathematical code on their cave walls? I mean, what possible common source could they all share?
Okay, this is where the story goes from a cool archaeological mystery into something else entirely. The source claims that by just touching the wall, the narrator had a vision, like a direct look back in time into the very moment this knowledge was first given to humanity.
And what did this vision show? The source of it all wasn't some alien in a spaceship or a god descending from the heavens. No, it was something different, an entity made of pure information, of living mathematics that just appeared to our terrified ancestors in the middle of the night.
And what happened next was this. Beautiful, silent exchange. You have this primitive human who bravely holds up a torch. I mean, that was our very first piece of tech, right? And in response, this entity of pure thought shows them, well, everything else. The patterns that run the universe, from the spiral in a seashell to how a fern branches out. It was a gift of pure knowledge, all in return for a simple gesture of curiosity.
So all of this brings us to the final, totally mind-bending takeaway from our source material today. What does this encounter actually mean for us, for all of human history? It suggests we might need to completely reframe our role in the universe.
This opens up a pretty wild possibility, doesn't it? Every single time we thought we invented something, were we just following an instruction? Was every so-called flash of genius just someone finally interpreting this ancient code? And was every great discovery actually a revelation, a message just left there waiting for us to find it?
So think of it this way. That cave isn't a museum. It's a user manual. It's not a history book about what our ancestors did, but a set of instructions for what their descendants, that's us, were meant to build. It's such a powerful way to think about it. We see ourselves as these great creators of technology, but what if we're just the users? What if all our amazing innovations are just us finally figuring out how to read a prompt that was written in stone 30,000 years ago?
And that's the question the source leaves us with. It's a thought that really challenges our whole place in the cosmos. If our entire history of invention has just been us following instructions, if we're simply the users running a very, very old program, then the final, really unsettling question is, who or what wrote the code?